business on display. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display. I got winners on the way. You know you can't knock the hustle. And if you gotta get in place, then we gon' put your business on display. Grab a seat, we need you for a minute. And if you got the goods, we can talk about your business. She know what it's like to make a move independently. And I don't fake us like that. We've been trusting God like that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display.
Well, hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Isn't that weird? Happy Thursday. We work Wednesday and then we work Thursday. So we're working Thursday double time. As many of you all know, I'm usually in the salon 12 hours, but lo and behold, I got off a little earlier today for a very important special segment today. And my special guest today, co-host, is none other than the 33-year-old marriage. 33-year-old marriage.
I like that 33-year-old.
Okay, we're 33. We're 33 years old, and I asked my wonderful husband to join me tonight. So if you guys are watching, please share and grab your hubbies or your fiancés or your seriously dating partner or your children that you want to be married, or if you're divorced because you definitely want to learn what you didn't learn the first time. No, that's a lot, right?
That's a lot. Baby.
That's a lot. Okay. But we are here today to talk to some phenomenal people. I would call them our marriage mentors, some veterans in marriage ministry. And they are a phenomenal couple. Filled with such wisdom, even until present day, of giving me wisdom today, and pouring back into the lives of couples everywhere. And yet, what are they? Recreating themselves or cloning themselves or making successors all over the Chicagoland area and beyond. And that's none other than, you want to do a drum roll? The amazing Hendersons, Thomas and Patrice. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. So happy to have you guys here.
So glad to be here.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure it was clear. So we are here today to talk about your newly published book. However, before we do that and dive into this our conversation today and our interview, I want you to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'll start because I probably do most of the bragging about us. So Thomas and Patrice Henderson, we actually met when we were 17 years of age. And she has a story that she says that I stalked her, but that's not really true. Okay. All right. Wink, wink, a little bit. Okay. But that has manifested into, as of this coming March, we will be married for 44 years. And so, yes, we cheer for that ourselves too. And in those 44 years, we have been blessed with 2 biological children and then 1 child that we never physically adopted, but is considered to be our son. And so out of those 3 children, we have 6 grandchildren ranging from ages 16 years of age all the way down to 2 months old. So quite a spread. But we don't want to forget about our granddogs, because we have granddogs too.
Okay.
So we have 3 granddogs. So we can never leave them out. So that's who we are. And Patrice, you want to add anything to it?
No, I think you did a great job. That's who we are. We're Yaya and Poppy.
Yes.
Yaya and Poppy. Okay, I like that too. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us today. And we're going to dive into some questions, but I wanted to talk before we dive into the book and talking about the book is when did you know that it was your calling to really have an opportunity to work with married couples and really to just do marriage ministry?
I'll let Patrice tell that because that's an interesting story that goes along with that. So,
well, we happened to our pastor, or was that a pastor at the time? Was he a pastor at the time?
Yes, yes.
Pastor Meeks happened to see, we were friends, of course. We were both young and married, and he was young to the church we both belonged to. And we became very good friends. And he could see that there were some issues in our relationship. Of course, I didn't see them. I just thought I was happy and in love. And long story short, he helped to, I won't tell all the story, but help us to come together and not to fall apart as husband and wife. And then as we started our church, Salem Baptist Church of Chicago, he had asked Thomas and I to head the ministry. And of course, well, us, really. And I always tell people that he saw something functioning in our marriage, which was dysfunctioned. And the idea that you knew our history and that you saw that God had something in us. Of course, we didn't see ourselves. And that's how marriage ministry actually began. I couldn't believe what he was seeing in us, God was showing him in us. It's just amazing still today that God uses our dysfunction to help other couples be functional.
I love that. I love that. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say there are a lot of couples that we have met that have been married over 40 years. And a lot of those couples, they just look like, I mean, thank God they made it 40 years plus, but they kind of look like they're just existing day by day. And when I met you guys, I was like, there's no way they could be married that long because they are way too happy to be married 40 years. You know, and it's something special. And it gives us something to look forward to, you know, because if we can look this good 10 years from now, I'm okay with that.
No, well,
All right, good stuff.
well, listen, so I wanted to mention that the reason we met the Hendersons was because of At His Pace, none other than Mark and Rhonda White, and we were just blessed by them ever since. So let's get into the reason we're here today, and that is none other than Love Touchdown. Come on, Touchdown.
Woo!
Marriage Playbook, you guys. And so therefore, tell us a little bit about Love Touchdown and when did it launch?
Well, the book actually launched just about 2 weeks ago on Amazon. This book actually has been in the writing process for probably the last 10 years. And
Wow.
one of the things that we probably never thought that we would ever do is to get it published. We actually have a couple of books that are kind of like sitting on our computers that we know that God has given to us. We just had never moved forward to be able to push that button to do it. But last year, as we were all going through the pandemic and so forth, and then I had a health challenge in the area of cancer that began to come into my life. And so I said to Patrice, we don't know what the future is going to hold here. And I would hate for me to pass away and to know that all that we've invested in that book never got out to the public, especially since we know that there's so much good stuff that's in it. So yes, it's been out for about 2.5 weeks now, and we're excited, and we're just hoping that, as our friends have said, we're hoping that it's going to become a bestseller, and not a bestseller just because of sales, but because we want it to actually get into people's lives and hopefully change their lives.
Okay, so hold the book up because my book didn't come yet. I don't know what's going on with Amazon, but Love Touchdown, you guys, and you see the footballs that are behind the Hendersons, right? And on the book. And this is a marriage playbook, right? So, first of all, let me just say this. I don't sit and watch football, do I?
Nope.
Only when the Bears are actually winning something really spectacular like the Super Bowl.
You'll bless me with your presence.
So I'll bless you. But I can't even say you've even taught me to understand football. So
I have.
you have
every game.
Okay,
every
I know
game.
about touchdowns. How about that? So this is Love Touchdown, you guys, and I can understand love. And actually, when we were doing the advertisement, I called it Football Love because I figured that, I need to get in love with some football as well if I'm going to understand it. But the book actually helps us to understand that. So tell us your inspiration behind you choosing football and it being a touchdown, like a football inspiration. That's what I would say.
Well, story. I had come downstairs in the basement one day, and some heels he had bought me, in a nice outfit. That's how I'll say that. And he was watching the game, and he looked up from the couch and looked at me head and toe and said, nice. He said, He said, sit right here next to me. If you know anything about football, he says, got a few more minutes, which takes 2 hours, right? I
Yes.
sat on the couch, all pretty, I thought. I realized he didn't take his attention. He'd look over at me and maybe glance at me and smile and hit my leg, like be patient. Well, of course I did. I wasn't patient. I got up and came upstairs and took the heels off and got back into some regular clothes. But then it dawned on me, what is it that helps a man not look up when a sexy woman or pretty woman is next to him? What is it that men that really cannot communicate, or we don't think as wives communicate effectively, but can communicate every play, tell you what they did, their stats? I'm like, what is it about this American sport that captured men's attention? And they seem to communicate well, and they're really excited. And so I said I needed to learn this game. And so we were with a friend of ours who helped us with the book, named Tom Morris. His name was Thomas. We call him Tom Morris. And I asked Tom some questions. And of course, Tom said, Patrice, you can't ask the question now. But he paused the TV to answer some questions. I'm like, that's like marriage. And I have fallen in love with football. I'm a more football fan than he
Really?
is now.
Truly,
And
oh
so
my
I
God,
love football
she
now.
watches it much more often. And in fact, I'll watch the game, but she'll get into the game. And our favorite team is Seattle Seahawks. Uh, Even though they lost really, really bad this year, we're still fans of them. And so, yeah, she has really increased her vernacular about football, but she has also become a lover of this game. And actually, now she knows how to talk to me, because the fact that, if I do something wrong to her, she says, well, Thomas, you know what? That was unsportsmanlike conduct. Okay. So, so it kind of like puts it in my vernacular to help me understand what she really means and how she's really feeling about something.
So, so are you saying once Nisha reads this book, I'll have a buddy on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoons? Is that what you're
I
saying?
will guarantee you that you will have a buddy, because the fact that in the book, you will find that there's a glossary that helps to explain a lot of football terms. And then the book is actually divided up into the same kind of quarters like a football game. So it will talk about the vetting process. It will talk about the draft process, which is the vetting process. It'll talk about the kickoff, what happens with the kickoff, the first quarter, talk about the second quarter, halftime. And we all know that halftime is really that part of the game that really strategy is really being developed. Then it's going to talk about the third and the fourth quarter. But then, as you said, most importantly, is that last 2-minute warning that really makes the game very tight. And if you were watching Kansas City this past weekend, woo! Man, was that a historic game. That was a game that every football lover said that was probably one of the best games in the world that they've ever seen. So yes, I can guarantee you, Wes, Nisha's going to be a bigger fan.
Now, Nisha, you have to look at the game in terms of a relationship,
Okay.
because I know, you're about marriage, and look at how you can advance your relationship as you learn more about him watching the game. And that's really how I learned to love football.
Yeah.
Because it's really about a game about relationships of players, the relationship to the people on the team that they need to work with in order to advance the ball. Just a lot of things I just learned about relationships from football.
Well, I know with that Kansas City game, if you if you kind of liken that to a marriage, I'm sure everybody thought that game was over at least 3 times.
Come on now.
It wasn't.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
Exactly.
good. I guess I needed to watch football. But here's the part that cracks me up, is that Patrice came down looking all sexy and fabulous, and football won.
Well, it didn't actually win.
Okay, tell me about that. Because women, wait, let me say this. First of all, take some notes, you guys. We all need this Love Touchdown book, because guess what? It's going to make us fall in love of football, and then it'll make our husbands fall in love with us over the heels and the sexy look. Okay, go ahead, Thomas.
And see, and I like the way you put that, but I think that what the book is going to help you to do is to understand football. And see,
Okay.
it's the same thing about relationships and about each other, because when you understand each other, and that's kind of like one of the things that we put in the epilogue, is the fact that though we respect Gary Chapman, I love five love languages, but sometimes, there's a different language. If your thing is shopping and I know how to talk in a shop vernacular to you, or if Wes's favorite thing is football and you have a vernacular to talk to him in, then your communication is going to be a whole lot better. But getting back to your point, no, football didn't win. It was just the fact that she saw herself being more important than the game to me at that point. And not saying that I was not interested. I wanted to make sure that when we did engage, that I was fully committed to the process. But she just thought that pretty heels and all that was going to stop the game that I had made myself. I set myself up that Sunday to sit down and watch that. So yeah, it has an interesting story.
Let me say this, that the game, or when I sat down, it helped me to learn the football so I could advance and I could help move the ball forward. Watch this, for our team. Though I was getting something from it, our team, so we could score, or I could help score a love touchdown.
Wow. That really makes so much sense, because I know when I do go shopping with Nisha, and when I don't even know what word to use, when I'm a participant and actually saying, yeah, baby, that's nice. No, I don't really like that. She enjoys that part of shopping. But when I'm just there and I'm like, all right, babe, I'm going to be sitting over here, I'm like, babe, you done yet? Then she's like, oh, forget it. I'll come back myself, So she likes that involvement. And I think as men, we the same. We like that involvement. We like them to understand when something happens, they're just as upset as we are for a good reason. And not
That's
like,
right.
what happened? So yeah, I like that. That's good. I didn't mean to take over your interview.
Oh, go right on ahead,
But
sir.
you go ahead with
It's
the
such
questions.
a privilege.
You wrote these nice questions out.
Look, understanding football helps things flow a lot better, right? So, case in point, understanding makes the interview. So that's why you can just flow, because you understand it. I'm gonna understand it though, especially if it's gonna make us better, right? So you know what? The message, and our book hasn't come yet, but I'm looking forward to it. What message would you say out of every chapter in the book that stands out to you, both individually, like that says, you know what, this is the one, this is a message out of all the chapters, this is the one that I really hope couples get?
I would say halftime for me.
That's just
I really worked on halftime, and I think halftime is when we look at where we've done so far in our relationship and or the game. It's where we come back and we retreat. Is we got some injuries, we get them bandaged up by, I guess, the doctors or the
Medics
on the team. We also get to look at and discuss what happened from the team, or what they've been trying to help us not score or stop us from advancing to score, and just get some strategy and some encouragement to go in the game and to fight forward and to move forward. And I think so many times in marriages, we don't have half times. We don't stop to retreat. And I love what you guys do with your ministry, Heart Life Ministries, with the retreat. You get couples to stop what you're doing, stop playing the game, get away, to retreat. Let's help bandage up what's been broken or wounded, and encourage us to go forward in the game to move our marriages and our relationships forward. So halftime to me, and it's a little entertainment in there too. So halftime to me is my favorite time, or my best part of the book.
Entertainment. I do stop to watch the entertainment during halftime. I do.
That is only on the Super Bowl. Right?
Oh man, only on the Super Bowl. That is absolutely correct. So I want to ask, Thomas, go ahead. You want to tell us your best part?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if I have a favorite part of it, but I think that because the parallel of understanding like what you do, what we do, is the fact that we're now there acting as coaches in order to help other people. We saw that recently that the Bears just let go of their coach, because the fact that they didn't feel as though that they were leading them in the right direction, for a win. And sometimes you have to just make sure that you have a good coach that's going to help you. And the important thing that I want to say about this book is really designed for people who are single. I mean, even before they start going to a serious dating process, this is something that they need to understand, because that vetting process, what to look for in a mate, is very important. and then to be able to tell them about the first, second, third, fourth quarter. But I think that most important is always that fourth quarter, because I think that kind of like is less West. I don't know why I want to keep calling you West, less West.
Okay.
Okay, help me out, Thomas. So, but I think you said it best about the game, Kansas City, that when people thought that they were done, and sometimes when people think your marriage is done, it's not over, especially if you got God that's leading you, if you yield to your coach, and then when you yield to each other, and then when you finally realize that we're playing on the same team. We're
Mm,
on the same
good.
team.
That's
As
good.
Patricia said, the fact that when you realize that you're on the offense, the point of the offense in the game is to keep the ball moving forward. That's the whole point of it. But sometimes you got to know how to, because the game switches around when you got to have your defense up, because there are going to be people coming against you in your relationship, and you have to know how to be defensive, even in terms of handling your marriage as well.
Wow.
I'm sorry, babe. I'm
Go
just
ahead.
taking
Go
over.
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this: a book like this, I promise you, men they will love it. I haven't even read the book. I haven't even put my hands on it yet, but I already know I've got like 1,000 analogies I could just plug in there, and I'm sure that everybody who reads it will get their own revelation of the things that are in this book. Even, I mean, if we even talk about last Sunday, all these games, even with the Rams when they played Tom Brady. Um,
Buccaneers.
the Buccaneers. Thank you. He switched teams. When they were playing, the Rams had such a big lead, and I don't think they were playing to win. I think they had a lead, and they just kind of got comfortable and laid back. And as you know, that's not what you should do in football or marriage. Just because you think it's good, you just kind of lay back and let it, and they almost lost the game.
Because they took it for granted, and you can do that. You can lose a winning edge by taking something for granted.
Yep. So I mean, I'm ready for your men's study, so we can get this on.
That was gonna be a men's
I'm
study.
sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead with your
Okay.
question.
Well, one of the things I thought about was you said that you guarantee that I'll love football, and so if I'm gonna love this book and love the football after reading the book, then that means it should make me fall for Wes even more because we're on the same team. But here's a question for you guys: how was it with you guys writing, even though you're on the same team? Even though it's a marriage playbook,
They
you
laughing
know that
already.
there's a guarantee. Because with us, woohoo, okay, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, okay. He's a processor. I'm a person that likes to. So, how was it your experience while writing this book that's going to bring life changing changes to every married couple and single person? How was it writing with you all being married 44 years?
Well, I'll start with the honest piece. Some days I hated her. While writing the
Oh
book. Oh, I couldn't stand her. She wanted to change this, she wanted to change that, she wanted to do this, she wanted to do that. And so yeah, there were some days in which we just said, look, let's just put this book down, But then I know that couldn't be nothing but Satan trying to say, this is too important to get this out, that we're going to try to put whatever kind of division that we could between you all, because this is going to bless so many people. And so, yeah, there were just times in which we just didn't like each other at all. But see, we've always had the mindset, or at least I'm going to speak for myself. I've had the mindset that I'm never leaving her. Okay. I'm not. Okay. I mean, she may not like me. She may call a divorce attorney. But you know what? Until they come and physically pick me up and take me out of this house, I'm not going nowhere. Okay. So, with that kind of a mindset,
yeah.
I knew that we were going to finish this because we're in this for the long haul. We're in this for a full touchdown. We want to win this game. And when we say win the game, it really is death do us part. And that's really the premise behind it. So yeah, Patricia give her perspective about us almost losing it with each other on this book
There's
too.
no
So
trading. There's no trading on this team, right?
no,
Trade
absolutely
out.
not. In fact, now you all, in fact, and Wes will tell you that because, our favorite person up there in Green Bay, didn't go forward, he is now talking about leaving and going to another team where he can probably be appreciated, but he gonna make a whole lot of cheeseheads upset, once he leaves that state. So, but yeah, it's important that to know that you can't. Yeah, trading is what happens in football. Okay, to get a better player, but I can guarantee you that if you prime and you vet properly, and then you go through all the things you need to work together as a team, why would I want to trade off my best player?
Yes.
I think with the book with me, he's right. There was it's a 10-year making book plus, and so there was some years we would just put it down and not deal with it because we could not even, he write, we write, and then we let sit and whatever. So it happened a lot. But I think that what I had to remember is that on the offense, as I learned about the game of football, it's for me to move the ball forward. But just as many people that are on the offensive side is that many people on the defensive side trying to get me to stop. And I think what I like about this and in marriage is we don't talk about the defense, what's coming against us. We never do. We get married and like, oh, our love is going to carry us through. Yeah, but there's some tackles and some fumbles that are coming that we may do, but there's some people coming against us. Just as many people are for us, and a football team, there's many people, same amount of people that are against us. And I had to realize when we got to almost this part of the book, they were strong and they were making us stumble and fall, and we were losing. This book should have been out in September, and we just got behind and disagreed, and we stopped and whatever. And so we are here now getting it done. But I had to remember that there was a defensive side coming against us as we were moving this ball forward, and we got a chance to score a love touchdown.
And as Wes will tell you, the fact that even in writing this and even just being 44 years married, we've had some Hail Mary plays, in which it just didn't look, we threw the ball hoping that, we were going to do something. We didn't know where it was going to land, but it was a good attempt that we were making it, trying to make sure that we try to win a game.
Yep, that's a good analogy right there. And one of the things that you talked about, Patrice, with that halftime, I was like, that's the time where you can pull back and you can look at the enemy. Go, okay, he's setting up nickel over here or playing man over here. You can look back and like, okay, so we're going to come in with a different strategy for the second half. And that's what that halftime point is good. And I think if marriages were just when they're in the thick of it and seem like they're getting beat up, let's go on to halftime. Let's pull back, look and see where we at, look and see where the enemy is really hitting us, and how can we change this game for the next half. I like that.
And the other thing about halftime is that that's when both teams switch sides. They go the opposite direction, and because the fact that they're going the opposite direction, then even if they were feeling like they were being defeated, in the first half, then that strategy that they developed during halftime, it gives them a different perspective because they're going in a different direction. So that's a good thing about halftime as well.
That's good. That's good.
That is some good stuff. I'm anxious now.
Now you want to read it.
Now I want to not only read it, I'm just, if you guys are watching, we're here with Thomas and Patrice Henderson, the authors of Love Touchdown. It's a marriage playbook. And you were saying like it should have been out in September, but how fitting is it that it's out January 2022 to give us the playbook to know how to set the year, and not only the year, but the rest of our life to make some changes so that we can win. You guys, right before the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. That's right. That's right.
So wives, you need to go to Amazon. Husbands, go to Amazon right now. Go purchase this book. I say get one of your own, right? And guess what? Me and Wes are going to give away 5 books today. So if you inbox us on Nisha's Network, we will be gifting you 5 books today. We're going to send them through Amazon. So definitely reach out to us. You want to get Love Touchdown. I can't wait to mine. I don't know what the delay is on mine, but I ordered another one today just to be sure that it would get here. I didn't know it was before Super Bowl. But guys, what'd you say, Patrice?
Well, now, Nisha, since you're giving out 5 on the same network, let me know when we're going to do 5.
Okay, so that's 10 love touchdown playbooks today, you guys, a marriage playbook. But guess what? It's not just for married couples. It's for singles. It's for seriously dating. It's for engaged couples. It's for couple. It's for people. Let me just say that it's for people. First of all, number one, you can not only understand marriage, but then you can understand football at the same time. That's a win-win, right? You can't beat that. So you guys, please share this video if you just happen to pop on right now. We're with Thomas and Patrice Henderson, who are our marriage mentors as well as marriage experts, been in doing marriage ministry for a very long time.
35 years at least.
35 years, and then also married 44 years. And this book is going to touch many lives. Okay. I'm super excited. So the last question I have is, if there's anything, is there anything in the book that you read that you would have added, like after you thought about it? You know how you go back, like you were saying, add more to this, add more to that. Is there going to be a part 2 to Love Touchdown?
You know, my desire and one of my wishes is I really want to meet an NFL coach.
Wow.
Really want to meet an NFL player. I would love to sit down and learn more about the game and look at it from a relationship point of view. And so that's my goal, because I have so much more to learn about football and I want to learn more about football. I'm just excited. I think God has just opened up this door, this American sport, to bless relationships across the globe. And so now, Wes, my thing to you is that when Nisha stops to ask you questions, let her look at it from a relationship point of view. I promise you, she'll start paying more attention.
Okay, so I got to flip it on. Gotcha. I can do that.
And give her a kiss on the side too, so she'll know.
Okay, I got you.
Be patient with me also.
I am patient.
Oh no. Most men are not patient during a football game. And then women too, because my baby sister's a football fan, so she's not patient with the people that are disturbing her. Her and her husband are both football fans. That's John and Rachel Jones, but football fans. But thank you guys so much. Now I know you are author of another book, Patrice. So if you want to share what that is, that would be a great opportunity.
This is a devotional that I created called "The Presence of God." I could pray for everybody else, but when it came time for my prayers, I just didn't feel like God was hearing them. And so I decided to take one of God's promises a day. And I looked at them as presents from heaven, a presence from God. And so it's a methodology to study the Bible with some friends or with a couple of ladies or men or groups. And so I took a group of people, mixed group of people, husbands and wives, for like 4 months, and we did scriptures a day through this methodology, and we fell in love with this God's word and a way to study and pray and share God's word called the presence of God.
I love that. Okay.
And that's
Presents, right?
a gift.
Okay. So that's available on Amazon as well, Patrice?
No, I think they got to Google it. This is about 10 years old, 10, 12, 13 years old now.
Okay, we got to get that book
while.
on Amazon. Tell them to reprint and put it on Amazon.
You got it. You got it. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's a great thing. The presence of God. Well, it's been a great time talking to you guys. You guys go to Amazon right now and order your book, Love Touchdown. The first 10 couples or people that reach out to Nisha's network through Messenger, you will get a copy of the book, Love Touchdown, a Marriage Playbook by the Hendersons. I was thinking about this and I was like, you know what, Wes, we should do our next Reboot Your Marriage boot camp. We should do a Love Touchdown. We would probably get couples from everywhere, especially when the husbands want the wives to understand. And I'm being
well,
really biased.
I already got a couple young men. I'm just going to send the book to them. I think they would really enjoy it.
That's good. So. That's good. Well, we love you guys. We want you all to just share one last thought of how and why the book is so impactful and why people should purchase it.
Well, I'll end and then I'll let Patrice kind of like just sign us off with this. Well, first of all, as I said, it was so important to be able to get this book out. It's been on our hearts for a very, very long time. And I love books, but I don't like books that just are predictable. And even as Wes will tell you, that if you're watching a football game and it's going to be a blowout, meaning the fact that the team is in such a lead, you don't even have an interest in that. You like the tight games where there's a lot of action. And so one of the things that I want to make sure, and I think that I should probably make it clear, is the fact that, this is not just based upon gender, because sometimes there are wives that love football more than their husbands do. So this is an understanding that, a wife can, help her husband to understand something that she loves, as well as vice versa. And so we just hope and believe that this should be in the hands of every couple throughout the United States. And actually, we have some friends of ours in Turks and Caicos, as well as Jamaica, who've already purchased the books. And so we got some friends over in Europe. So we're trying to make sure that this is international as well, too. And our thanks to you, and before Patrice even says, our thanks to both of you all, because we still aspire to be like you guys. So, because I believe that they're so, no, don't, and I say that very seriously. You guys are a very loving, serious couple. You're organized. You've got retreats and things that you're doing. You got this forum that you use. So you are doing something to bless so many lives. So thank you for allowing us to utilize your platform today.
And let me just say that every Sunday, except for first Sunday, we are actually teaching from our book. And you can go to our married couples website, Salem, SALEM, married couples Facebook page, I'm sorry. And also get the link to register for the class. And you can sign up every Sunday. We would at 9:30, we're teaching sections of the book. And really, there are a lot of men. What I like about football, there are a lot of men who are sharing, men who would sit on our class before not saying anything, but they have plenty to say about football and the relationship to marriage or dating. And so we're just excited about that. So we have a class that we're offering as we teach the book. And so that also can be in the link. But as Thomas said, thank you both. You all have been a pillar of marriage, and marriage is growing, and you are our mentors also. I think one thing about a teacher and a student, we may be teachers, but we are students also. And we would not be married 40 something years if we didn't stop sometime to learn and to retreat and to try some things. And so your book blessed us also.
Yes, thank you.
And also in our book, we have, what do we call that? A 2-minute wrap up, and then we have love touchdown playlists, and so you can do some things in the book.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Love it. Absolutely love it.
That was just from your book, had things to do in it also, and just not to be something that people could write, but something that people could do. And so you are a mentor to us also, and we appreciate you both.
And the reason why we put that part in there is because, as Wes will tell you, that every good coach goes back to their playbook. Some plays they know worked, some plays they know that didn't work. So if you write down and keep a catalog of that, you'll be a better football team. And so we're Team Henderson. So we're going forward because we're on the same offensive team.
All right.
That's
we love it.
good. I love it too. I'm so excited. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. You guys go purchase your book, Love Touchdown. Can't wait till mine comes. I might have to go to the house of the Hendersons and go get.
We got one for you right here.
Clearly,
Well,
we
need
I'm
a signed
anxious.
copy anyway.
Right, but I'm anxious to get it now. Like I'm like for real excited. So I was excited before, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna be patient. But guess what? It's time for your Love Touchdown, you guys. So go and purchase it today on Amazon. Thank you all so much. We love you so much. Hold on. We will see you guys. Guess what? Saturday morning, we have another special segment. Nisha's Network is doing some special changes in 2022. Reset 2022. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Okay. God bless.
Yeah, 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 yeah.